welcome to Rokk Around the Clock. Daily cloud gaming news live at the same time, Monday to Friday. But first, if you're new to the show, please subscribe and hit the bell. If you'd like to support the channel, why not hit the join button on the channel homepage and become a member of Team Rokk. Check that out, boys! Oh, look at me! I look like a little ham. Why am I so red? What's going on with the redness, Rokk? I don't know. How are you, folks? It's Monday. It's dark. It's pitch black where I am, but it's just where I am because where you guys are, of course. Unless you are in Europa, it's probably still quite light. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. I did. Did I? Yeah, I kind of did. Yes, I went to see an ABBA-alike band, which I did. I did well. I did a couple of live YouTube shorts from the show. And I just said it was ABBA, and a bunch of gullible people went, "Oh my God, they're amazing!" And I got like 4,000 or 5,000 views out of that. I can't remember it. It was somewhere around there. So good to see you guys. I don't know what to do about my redness. I'm feeling very blushed. I'm just wondering if it's because I'm a little bit embarrassed. There we go. Let's turn that. Oh, it's just all the lights and stuff going on. It's all right. Like we could make me nuclear. Ooh, or we could turn it off completely and go with the Resident Evil. Anyway, I hope you are well. It's been a busy old day for me. I hope it's been a busy old day for you in a good way. Prepping for what's to come later today. And if you've checked out John Scar's and my tweets, you'll kind of have a bit of an idea what I'm talking about. But just to say hello to everybody that's popping in. How are you? Ray was here first. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you as always. And then closely followed by Josiah Martinez, which sounds like a fantastic Charles Dickens novel. It's like a main character from a Charles Dickens novel if it was set in Paraguay. Josiah Martinez. I love it. And he knows. Oh no, look at that. The old sex bots dudes are in the house. They're being hidden by my lovely bot remover. And I'm going to do the same thing. There they go. Right, anyway, they're gone. I think they're gone. They always show up on Melona, but nowhere else. So it's all good. Martinez like that. Was it Josiah Heap? Was the name of... I'm trying to think the name of the story, the Charles Dickens book. I can't remember, but it made me chuckle. And here he is, the man of the moment, my very good friend, John Scar. How are you, John? Hope you're having a good day working. John is thick into the work. What is it now, John? Your lunchtime, I guess, or coming up that way. Innuendo, which of course is an innuendo, the very word itself, which I've always loved. I always wondered whether, the old ancient... whoever it was that came up with the word innuendo, it kind of feels Latin to me. But I would just hope that they said, sorry, innuendo. I just hope that's what they did. Who knows? Timing, says Bjorn. Oh yes, ABBA, mate. And of course Bjorn was on stage, although he was probably the least looky-likey band of ABBA-ness I've ever seen. But they sounded good, I have to say. William, how are you, my brother? Great to see you, buddy. Hope you've got loads of fun streaming coming up after the show. Sorry if my hair's a bit wet. It's raining, what can I say? Thick is right. Oh no, what's thick? That's all we need. I just want to make sure those bot things aren't getting through. I deleted a chunk of them, so no, I think we're good. I think we're all good. So, yes, I want to see an ABBA-alike band who build themselves as the world's most successful. No, they're not. They were good. They were very good, but they're part of a a production company that puts on tribute act bands across the country. So the day that we went to see, actually they were called Thank You for the Music, which is a nice enough name. The day we went to see them, elsewhere in the UK, they had an Elton John show, they had a soul show, they had an 80s show. It's less about the specific band as it was about this massive company that puts all these things on. But I shouldn't complain. It was a little treat for my wife, bless her. She's a massive ABBA fan. And she enjoyed it, and that's the key thing. Who else we got here? Well, we got Martinez being very polite. Hey, Bjorn, John, Bruce, and SPG. It's very good of you. We have some news today, but not masses, I have to say. So I did say last Monday that we would make Mondays more of a kind of just a chat. Just a how are you guys? And then Tuesdays we've got the Rokk show, of course. Wednesdays and Thursdays we'll have normal kind of cloud gaming news stuff, and then Fridays we'll actually play a game at the same time as do news. Hey Crow, how are you? Crow's in with the innuendo, Latin by nodding at, by pointing to, ablative gerund of inure. What's up? What? When did we suddenly went off into an ancient language? From in towards, noer to nod. The noun dates from the late 17th century. Very, well, kind of interesting, Crows. Very good of you to find that out, mate, but I'm none the wiser. Not really sure what that meant. But I love etymology. I've said this recently. I love the study of words and the history. I found out, for example, the more the merrier. There are others, let me think. Basically, the word the at the front of more isn't the same the that we use when we say the dog. It's actually Old English, and it's I won't get this right because it was a really detailed piece that I read, but it basically means where there is more, it is merrier. But it came at a point where they didn't have all the words they could use, so they used double meanings on things. So the more the merrier literally means where there is merriment, there will be more merriment, I guess. Or where there are more people, there will be more merriment. And it's just kind of now become phrases. We don't use the word the in the same way anymore. But I should have pulled it up and read it. Having said that, it would have been no more elucidating than Crows. From what I gather, it's the equivalent of wink wink, nudge nudge in the 17th century. 100% that's exactly what it is, Crow. David Wilson, how's it going, my bro? With your dog, Bear. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're well. And I hope you've relaxed after the weekend. It was all good. I've got a little story to tell you guys. Actually, it's likely to embarrass a few people. So I'm going to protect the names. I'm going to hide the names to protect the innocent. So it's about my daughter. Kel F, thank you so much. Look at this. $5 from Kel. Thank you. Stadia Stimulus. Stadia is the best. Stadia forever. I mean, 2 months doing anything for the anniversary. Oh, I wish it was. Yeah, of course it's November 19th, isn't it? You're right. It's only a couple of days away. Yeah, we should do something, shouldn't we? We should mark it because, well, firstly, Stadia is still here, right? Yes, Joe. It's actually not intended to be Christmas vibes, to be honest with you. I'm just jumping about a bit. Sorry, I'm going to come back to you on this one, though, Cal. Yeah, that's just my normal kind of... It's the colour, maybe. Maybe it's the colour that's making it feel wintry. And I'm looking like toasty, as if I'm sat in front of a lovely toasty, warm fire. I probably could put some Christmas music on, it's true. But Cal, yes, you're right. We're literally only, 5 days away from what would have been 3 years of Stadia. And of course, it's still there. it's not absolutely gone just yet, isn't it? So I reckon, where are we, 5 to the 19th is going to be Friday, is it not? 14, 15, 16, 17, maybe Saturday. Maybe Saturday, maybe I'll just stream some Stadia stuff. Oh, bless you. Anyway, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that. It's very, very generous of you. But you're right, though, Joe. I am starting to feel Christmassy, but how can you avoid it when you put the television on? And I tend to avoid live TV these days. I think most of us do, don't we? I don't even record much broadcast TV, but we have a show on in the UK. I'll come back to my story. We have a show on in the UK called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Now, I'm not sure whether it ever made its way out of the UK, but it's massive here. It's been going for 20 odd years, and it basically is about 10 or 11, in inverted commas, air quote, celebrities. There's usually one or two big ones. So this year they have Boy George, very well known. He's by far the most well known in there. And then they have got some local soap actors and that kind of thing, and a politician who, interestingly enough, was absolutely hated before he went in, because he oversaw the kind of pandemic measures when we had COVID and stuff, and there's no two ways about it. We were very late to introduce lockdown. They let old people go back into old people's homes that had been in hospital and had spread it amongst the old people's homes. There was lots of stuff. They spent a massive fortune on PPE that ironically went to a lot of friends of politicians. But he seems to be turning the public opinion around. I've been watching people commenting on Twitter and saying, leave him alone, he's a nice boy. He's a nice boy. Martinez has snow where anyway, the reason I said that, sorry, was because we kind of watch it. It's on quite late. It's on, for me, it's on about 9:30 in the evening, and we do try and record it and watch it 15-20 minutes later so we can speed through the adverts, but you can't miss them. They're just Christmas ads, wall-to-wall Christmas ads, which is makes you feel Christmassy ultimately. There's one supermarket called Asda in the UK, and their big thing this Christmas, because they've got nothing else, is Elf the movie, right? Which is by far one of the best, if not the best, fun family, hugely hilarious Christmas movies. I'm not knocking it for that. But what makes me chuckle is their entire marketing campaign for Christmas is predicated on the fact that they've bought in truckloads of the DVD, which you can pick up at Asda. It's like, well, it's going to probably be on Prime or Netflix or something. You'd think. The trouble is, over here in the UK, after Brexit, and we made it plainly known that we didn't want any cheap labour coming in from Eastern Europe, they all left. So nobody's been able to pick up the cauliflowers from the fields, or the broccoli, or the sprouts, and the stuff that we have got used to for Christmas dinner. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's all funny, isn't it? Anyway, my story that I was going to tell you. And Martinez has got his snow, which is lovely. Who was it? Vet. I think Vet mentioned earlier on Twitter as well that he had some snow falling. We don't tend to get it down where I am on the on the southwest coast of England. It's pretty warm. The whole south and southeast of the UK is fairly warm most of the time. It's fairly mild. So if we get it at all, it's usually not until later in January and sometimes early February where it's kind of at its coldest. But my kids adore the snow. They'd love to know that. I bet the hills look amazing in Wyoming as well. Josiah, absolutely gorgeous. Big Steve's in the house. How are you, Steve? Hello, hello. How are we all? We're all good, my friend. Funnily enough, given that it is a Monday, I'm feeling surprisingly good. I've got to be honest. I don't usually feel this good on a Monday. Where am I in the UK, Kel? I am down in a county called Devon. which is it's very rural, and it's very beautiful because I don't know if you know this or not, but we've got a gorgeous coastline on the south, obviously, and then in the middle we've got Dartmoor, which is famous really for Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Hound of the Baskervilles with Sherlock Holmes. So if you ever watch any of the movies and stuff, it tends to be set in Dartmoor. There's also a prison there called Dartmoor Prison, which was built, funny enough, not that funny, it was built to house American prisoners during the American Revolution against the Brits, which was fair, but a lot of American prisoners were shipped over. Then it was used for, I've got to get the timings right, it may have been French prisoners initially when we were at one of our numerous wars against the poor old French, and then Americans were imprisoned there, and then it became just a general prison. But up until maybe 20 years ago, it used to house the worst of the worst, because it is the bleakest place. It's in the middle of miles from anywhere, and it's very barren and bleak, and it's an old, horrible looking kind of 18th century looking building. But it's not so much anymore. They can't afford to run prisons in the UK, and they've got them full up. That's basically what we're saying here. Hey, Al, how are you? Oh, there's young vet. Woohoo! How are you, buddy? We're just talking about you. Did you put up a Twitter picture of snow falling where you are, mate? I'm fairly convinced that I saw snow in one of your pictures. Your house. Yeah. Oh, I'm not kidding you, buddy. I'll find a picture of Dartmoor Prison in a minute when we go over to Larry, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. It's actually, to be fair, it's a really lovely drive up there, up into Dartmoor. I love it. And then you have the prison itself, which is a very bleak looking place. I will find it in a second and show you. Casewell, how are you, bro? Good to see you, my friend. You'll have heard of Dartmoor and Dartmoor Prison, being a fellow UKer, although you're right at the other end of the country to me, aren't you? Great to see you, my friend. I hope you had a cracking weekend. I hope you all did. I was just going to highlight young Al. Here he is. Here we go. Al says, hi, all completed the Resident Evil Village Shadows of Rose DLC. Oh, wow. I bought it, and I forgot I bought it. It just reminded me, Al. I bought that. So what was I doing with it? The Winters pack, isn't it? Yeah, I bought it. I know what I was doing. I've been replaying it in third person. I should just zip across and play the Rose thing, shouldn't I? Thanks for reminding me, buddy. Brighton's where Kel is. There you go. Yeah, now I know Brighton. I've never been to Brighton, but somebody that I know lives in I think it's Hastings or near there, and my daughters plural are at Portsmouth and Bournemouth, which is just around the corner almost, isn't it? It's a place it's a place we definitely will visit, Kel, before they leave uni, because it's only a hop, skip and a jump on from there, isn't it? And I'm keen to visit the gay capital of Britain. Absolutely. Looking forward to that, my friend. Yes, I did, said Vet. He did publish a photo of snow. Trevor's in Bodmin. Hi, Rokk. Oh, no, he's been to Bodmin Jail a few times over the years. Sadly, now a hotel. Is it? Are you sure? The last I heard, you could still go and stay there for ghost visits, and the roof was still missing. In fact, Bodmin Town Council was a client of mine until last year, and we built their tourism website and we built their council website. So I had popped down there a few times, but no, I've not done the jail. My brother wanted us to go. My brother's birthday is a couple of weeks after mine in January. Oh, sorry, other way around. I'm a couple of weeks. My birthday's 2 weeks after his birthday in January. Or there's a year between us. And a couple of years back, his partner, what she wanted to organise a night in Bodmin Jail, a haunted night. I was like, nah, you're all right, mate. A, I'm not that fussed about the ghosts. And B, it's going to be freaking cold. So no, it never happened. Yep, hotel the other year, I think. Oh, was it? Okay. All right. So, yeah, got to make money, I suppose. It's a shame, though. Rokk Show, I just tweeted out a new photo of the snow if you want to snow it to your viewers. You didn't say snow it, that was a slip of the old. Yeah, I'll try to, my friend, in a second. I've got a few things lined up here. We've got Dartmoor Prison. I don't know what happens to my screen when I go off it, by the way. I'm hoping it doesn't... let me put Vet Cloud Gaming Twitter. Let's see now. Got a picture of... there it is! Right, got it, mate. Right, we'll have a look at that in a second on the old studio. There we are. I've paused. See, that's what I'm worried about with this. I'm back again. Okay. We'll have a look at that in a minute, my friend. What have we got? We got Caseport hands-on with Assassin's Creed VR today. Oh, nice. Is that with the Meta, the Quest? I have to say, I own the original Sony VR. But it ended up making me feel nauseous. And it's really weird because I don't get car sick or anything. And I genuinely thought I'd be fine with it. And I was. But over time, I started getting more and more. And, but I know that the new one, the new Sony one, which is not cheap, is it? Was it $500 or pounds or something? Is like 4K per screen. I'm wondering whether the extra detail would make a big difference or whether it would make it worse. I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, yes, my story. that I was going to hide the names to protect the innocent. So basically, I was offered a couple of tickets, corporate seats to a football game. I may have mentioned this on Friday. I think I did. Only I didn't really fancy it and I couldn't really go anyway. So I gave them to my daughter and her boyfriend, who we shall call Matt, because that's his name. And anyway, they went and they enjoyed the game and they had a fantastic time and the meal, and it was free drink and they made friends and it was brilliant. And then that night, my wife and I went off to see the ABBA, the Poundland ABBA that we did. And she sent her a message, you know, everything okay? Did you have a nice day? And did you manage to make the train to get home? Because it was like a 2-hour journey or something. Yeah, she texted back, yep, got the train, it was all fine. So we went home and everybody was happy and got into bed. And then about 1 a.m, there was a text message. Oh, we didn't actually get on the train, we missed it. And we booked a hotel and we got here and there's been a problem and we can't have the room and now we're panicking. It's like 1 a.m. So the little minx, what she'd done, she didn't want to worry her mum, but they decided to have a night out in Bristol, which is about an hour and a half north of where I live. It's about 4th, 5th largest urban area in the country. It's very nice, actually, if you ever get a chance to visit Bristol. And so they thought, it's fine because we've booked a hotel. We're going. We'll have a night out in Bristol. Of course, there was a problem with Booking.com, and when they got to the hotel, it wasn't actually available. Oh no! So they were panicking. Anyway, ultimately they did find a hotel. It wasn't until about 2 a.m, and it was right on the airport with the planes going up and all that stuff. And then the next morning, I had a little bit of a lie-in. I woke up about 8:30 in the morning, and the house was empty. And then I got a call from the wife to say, I'm in Bristol. They phoned up. She didn't feel very well. Could I come up? She ended up, bless her, my dear wife, she ended up not only having to travel to Bristol, but apparently the trains were not running in the morning. So she had to take them close to where they get off to get on a train. So all round, she'd driven like 8 hours. She'd driven like 8 hours for them. For their night. And I wish I hadn't given them the tickets to the football now. Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I can't see. Says, what's the big news? Are you referring to the big news that is coming later, my friend? Or are you referring to any big news that there might be today, which we can get onto in a second? There is some news. Well, If you're referring to the news that's coming later, in the big reveal, why would I tell you now if there's a big reveal coming up? Young Rokk, how are you, my brother? Great to see you, Ant. I was thinking very fondly of you earlier, my friend, actually. You're a lovely chap. I just wanted to tell the world this. You get a bad rap sometimes, but I have a huge amount of time for you, my friend. Sorry, guys, had to dip out, but I'm back. There you go, David. It's all, mate, dipping in or out. It's the spice of life. It's getting close to Christmas. Why can't you treat yourself? How close are we to Christmas? Where are we now? We are 14th of November. So we've got 39 days, if my maths... Oh, hang on. How many days are there in this month? 31? I'm not sure. Let's call it 40 days, shall we? Either way, it's a month and a couple of weeks. It ain't going to be long. It's not going to be long. I Can't See has been playing Marvel Snap. Do you know the amount of people that have got into that? But I've decided, and 30 this month. Well, yeah, that's true. I'll give you that, mate. It'll be 26 this month at the very end of it as well. Thank you, Rokk, and it's okay. I do put a certain look out there that makes people not so happy with me at times, so I do understand. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's showmanship, my friend. I know it, and it saddens me when people take it seriously, because I know you personally, and that is not you. You are a man with a solid gold heart. Bless you. As, by the way, does this man, young vet as well. He's another one. People sometimes get the wrong end of the stick because he is like a super excited puppy at the best of times, but he is a genuinely lovely guy, and he really does have a heart of gold. 60 days till the end, says Primo. 66 days till the end. Till the end, oh, what, of Stadia? Yeah, I know. We were just saying, and by the way, hi, my friend, how are you? Great to see you. We were just saying, Primo, that in 5 days, it's going to be 3 years, technically, since Stadia first arrived. And we should mark it, shouldn't we? Because it is a true and genuine anniversary. It's still going to be around in 5 days, right? So I reckon we should mark it, shouldn't we, on the 19th? The fact that it ain't going to be around for much longer is by the by. You know, okay, so in 61 days by then it'll be gone. But we should. Why not? I agree. But, you know, David's also saying here, I need to play some of that Marvel Snap. Do you know what? The problem I have with it, David, is, and I'm sure it's the same in the US. What I call Snap as a card game is not what is this one. And I think, because you know in the States they go snap as in yeah, wow, whereas in the UK we refer to a very, very simple card game as Snap, where you divide the pack. So you shuffle them up, you divide the pack normally between 2 people, but it can be as many as there are, and more than one card each, and then you put a card down and somebody else has to put their card down. And by the way, neither of you see these cards before they're put down, right? So you sort of have to do it in a way that you can't see them. And then if they're both the same card, you say snap and you win those cards. Kind of how it works. So Marvel Snap in my book is wrongly named. It should be something like Narwhal. Should be Narwhal, which is a whale with a large unicorn horn. No, it should be Marvel Bang or something like that. I mean, you know, it shouldn't be Snap, because that is a card game and this is a card game, and so the two of them, you know what I'm saying, don't you? You know what I'm saying. Yeah, what did you do with your phone, by the way? Brandon, want to come on my podcast next month? Oh, bless you. Of course I will, my friend. Of course I'll come on your podcast next month. I used to love going on Brandon's podcasts. They were good fun. Marvel Bang, you see? David's got it. Like Sillet Bang, but with people in spandex. Yeah, no, honestly, David, I looked into it because that's what I thought. I was talking to Stu from Renaissance Men Cast, and he was saying, yeah, it's not Snap. And that's what I was getting confused with. I thought it was the game of Snap that we know in the UK, but it ain't. Now then, I Can't See says it's called Snap because of the wagering mechanic, which is like the backgammon double mechanic. Yeah, but still nothing like the game of Snap we play in the UK. And that's my point. But it's a meaningless point for the majority of the world. It's simply the point that I make, because in this country, that is kind of where we are with it, right? Let's get over to the news. Shall we get over to Larry? Yeah, let me just double check I've got everything here. Actually, before we go to Larry, we will go to Larry. Watch for the new... Do you know, I hate that. Let me pull Melon out of my main stream, because what seems to happen is when I go to... There we go. When I go to a different tab, because I'm using the same browser, Melon seems to freeze. I don't know if it freezes for you guys or whether it's just for me. Larry, Joe loves Larry. We're going to get over there now. What I'm going to say was, watch out, I've put a new stinger in place, which is a tiny version of a much larger new intro that I've worked up for when I do game streams. So here it comes. Watch this. Yeah, so it's no longer got the rain going into the cloud, which was the first iteration, as you guys will remember, of of the logo, but it's not there anymore, as neither is the news page. But don't worry, for I will find it, and I will put it in place, and it will be most beautiful. It'll be a most beautiful thing. Where is it then? It's coming. All right, first things up, let's have a look at, where is it? I think, is it this one? Excuse me. Yeah, this is Dartmoor here. This is Dartmoor Prison that I mentioned earlier. And I'm going to zoom in because it's just tiny, tiny little thumbnails to you guys, isn't it? Right, so this is like the complex over here on the left there. And then you have, look at it, look, it's hideous old building from 18th, 19th century. And then you can only imagine what it must have been like going through the gate. You've been sentenced to 40 years at Her Majesty's pleasure at Her Majesty's Prison, Dartmoor. I went out with a girl once whose dad was a prison officer at Dartmoor Prison. And he said it was so grim that they had to rotate the officers regularly, otherwise they had mental breakdowns. Imagine being a prisoner there. Look at these hideous cells. Look at the place. Oh no. I mean, he looks like he deserved to be in it, doesn't he? Look at him though. But yeah, there you go, there's Dartmoor Prison. It's not the nicest of places, but I tell you now, it's a beautiful place to visit, just to go up into the moors. It's in a place called Princetown. And where all the officers live, just on the outskirts of the prison. But it is a beautiful trip. It takes us about an hour to get there from where I live. But yes, a nasty looking place, if ever there was one. And this is my good friend Vet's house. Look at the amount of snow he's got going on there. Vet, I don't believe that's now. Look, you got Christmas lights out. You fibbing. That's from last Christmas, you cheeky minx. I can see what you did there. It was very clever. But you got to get up early, my friend, to pull the wool over my eyes. So what have we got rocking around at the clock? Well, Boosteroid has added 8 new games, apparently. But before we do that, I just need to check something over here. So, yeah, let's do something, says Primo. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. We should do, shouldn't we? I mean, just an informal thing. Let's not make it a big thing. But I think we should all, in our own way, mask the parking of Stadia by mark the passing of Stadia by, doing some Stadia stuff, maybe going back and looking at some of our early videos and all that kind of thing. Should be fun, shouldn't it? I reckon we should do this. Yep, Caseball agrees 100%. Snap is completely different in the UK. And do you know what? Actually, Caseball, companies usually go to a lot of effort to check on things like the words of a branding or a product, make sure that it hasn't got other connotations around the world. And we have, it's like strip poker is snap, isn't it, in the UK? I mean, there's all sorts of connotations. I just didn't give it no thought. I'm the only one that's ever pointed this out, by the way, I reckon. I Can't See says, I will most likely be using my Stadia refunds on Google Play to supplement my subscriptions. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. I think there's lots of things you can do with those Google Plays. But I also think that it's not over just yet. I think there's still some more of that story to unfold yet. Chariot, my good brother, how are you? What's up, my good friend? I'm in a good spirit today. And it ain't alcoholic. As much as I could argue this looks like a very weak rosé, it's not. It's a blackcurrant. Blackcurrant flavoured water is what it is. Otherwise known as Ribena in the UK. What is up, says Joe to Chariot. Christopher Torres, good to see you, my buddy. He's listening. He finally got his prize from the Resident Evil giveaway over the weekend as well. Hope that worked out for you okay, my friend. And I looked on Xbox and it's free on there in the Game Pass. And you rode up. Sheesh, says Chariot. What are you sheeshing about, my friend? What was the sheesh? What sheeshed you? Mass the parking of Stadia. We should. We should mass the parking. Absolutely. We should all pull our cars up at Tesco. Park them all up and play, I don't know, Spitlings or something. Just being Bruce. Innuendo. Have I gone all the way back up to the top? I have. I was wondering why. I started to see John saying hello and Bruce saying innuendo. So, says Ant, Rokk Show, the nominees of Game of the Year is official. Elden. So will Elden beat God of War? Do you know, who was it? Was it you that said this the other day or someone else? I forget now. I don't think either of those are the God of the Year. Oh, the Game of the Year. I don't think either of them are, just because they were big sellers right at the very end. Elden, I mean, I didn't play it anyway. I'm trying to think, what have I played this year? I mean, for a start, Plague Tale was really good. Having said that, I haven't played Ragnarok. It's on my game game rental list, though. I got Ghostbusters today, Soul something. So far, it may not hang around for long. I mean, it looks okay, but I don't know. I just done the first mission, and I thought, it's a bit... So I'll see how it goes, but I might be sending it back. But I've got quite a few games on my games list that... no, don't do that, Rokk. You'll freeze yourself out again. Oh, that was lucky. I didn't do it. Yeah, but I'm working my way to Ragnarok at the moment, and they are out of stock on Ragnarok. But I do pay to get it like you do. I do pay to get it ahead of. But at the end of the day, you've still got to get into a queue of a bunch of other folk. And obviously it went out. They can't satisfy demand. But I will get it. And I'll get it before Christmas. And I won't have paid for it. And that's the key thing. A game called Immortality. A weird interactive movie game. No, I've played it. Yeah, it's actually good. It's a good game, David. But I'll let you into a little secret. I don't know who I told this to. I may have told Ray about this. It's got some quite saucy bits in it. And if you play a little bit, so it's a really clever game. It genuinely is a clever game. You are essentially, what you've found is some movie clips from a movie starlet, a lady movie star, her career over time. And what you've got to do is you have to kind of find all of the clips and put them all into sequence. But it's really interesting because you get to find out a lot about her and the making of the movies and stuff. But it turns out at certain points in her career, she indulged in some rather saucy movies. And if you know what to look for, there's quite a lot of it with showing all of her various bits. I quite enjoyed that game. Actually, I'd say it deserves to be there. It's a good game. But there's some. The trouble is, when you get to the end of a year, and you've played, as we do, so many games, you kind of forget a lot of the games that you've played, and you kind of need to go back and see what it was. That's what I was saying about Ragnarok. Rokk, I only bought it because I figured it would be hard to rent. Yeah, you were right, mate. But I'd be shocked if I continued to play it. Yeah, there are so few games that I have carried on playing after I finished them. You know, games that, like, open worldy MMOE stuff like Destiny, you can, and games that keep throwing in lots of DLC like Division or Breakpoint. But most games that are like a beginning and an ending and that's it, I'm never going to pick them up again. And even games where I've picked them up again, like recently I picked up Resident Evil Village again because it had the third person thing. Well, I've kind of played a bit of that, experienced it. I'm probably not going to finish it, actually. So I'm happy to rent games, but not everyone's like that. A lot of people like to play them again. I very often see people in chat saying, oh, I'm on my 5th Cyberpunk run through and, you know, trying to platinum games or what have you. So it's horses for courses, isn't it, really? Christopher says, I got it for my half of my credit card, half of it in my bank account, and another Google credit. What a mess. Shakes my head. Forced to buy YouTube Premium with Google credit. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Christopher. There's so much anger around the way that it's been handled, and I think half of it, to be honest, if Google had said, that's it, guys, thanks for the fish, to quote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So long and thanks for the fish. Brilliant quote. There's the end of the world. The dolphins basically say to humans, so long and thanks for the fish. It's a great little quote. But anyway, if they just simply said at the end, okay, that's it, we've decided it's not going to run anymore, sorry, look, we're not going to sell any more games, so, you know, you're not going to get stuffed if you buy a game now, and obviously you've got another 3 months to get them out of your system and that, and hopefully, you know, we'll organise deals with the publishers and stuff. And they'd never said we're going to refund you. I think actually we'd have been we were angry anyway, right? But we'd have gone, well, you know, that's how it works in business, isn't it? You know what I mean? I've watched a ton of films on Netflix or been to the cinema tons of times. I'm not expecting to get refunded for the films I've watched. But they didn't. They turned around and said, we're going to give you your money back. So then to get to the point where they're giving money back and then they're going, well, actually, you know what? If you didn't pay with cash, you're going to get it back in whatever form. I can see why that's upset a lot of people, because a lot of people paid with credits. They're now ending up with a ton of these things and nothing that they want to buy with them. Having got really excited about the chances of getting back thousands of dollars in time for Christmas, to buy gifts or just have a nice break or, you know, pay the rent. So I get it. I understand why people are upset. I mean, I would have almost certainly have paid for credits if I had any. I didn't. So I just paid with dosh, as we call it over here. But yeah, that's what it is. Ant was telling his wife last night, I was telling my wife last night that I watch so much YouTube, I don't know why I don't pay to skip ads, so I might sign up for that. That's what it would sound like if Cowboy was Irish, right? And I only pay premium to skip the ads for my streams. That's all I don't need it for anything else. I only pay for Spotify so that I can play this music. That's all I pay Spotify for. Most of my subscriptions, apart from the ones that the rest of the family use, like Netflix, I only pay for this stuff. I don't use it other than this. I don't. It is good not to have the ads, but yeah, man, you do so much streaming, and just do it for one person. You don't need a family account. Anyway, if you remember, about half an hour ago, we started looking at the news. And this one was some games coming to Boosteroid. Sonic Frontiers, Super People. I think Ray was playing this the other day because he's suddenly become very smitten with Boosteroid. I've actually got some Boosteroid codes as well that I'm going to be giving away at some point. But Super People, it's a free game on Steam, whether you play it there. I don't think it's available on GeForce Now, but I may be wrong. Thymesia, or Timesia, whichever. That one's coming up there. Cosmotea. Brotato, which is just, I mean, for the name alone, I'd want to own that. And, of course, our good old friends, Golf with your friends. Warhammer Vermintide 2. This game was given away for free recently. You had to be quick, but I tell you now, having played Darktide Beta with William and a few other guys, this is exactly the same, except set in an older kind of, medieval time. Just as much fun. I actually thought it was brilliant. So I'm in two minds about whether to even bother buying Darktide now, because that kind of has all of it going on there. So I probably won't. So there. This site, I've mentioned these guys to you before, and a few of you have made a note of them and stuff, but they're Cloud-Based GG. Brilliant, because they are, if you ever want to find a game, for example, let's put Vermintide. Whoops, Vermintide, there we go. And it will show you what platform it is on. So Boosteroid, GeForce Now, Shadow Air GPU, and PlayStation Now. So you can play it on PlayStation. So for that alone, it's amazing. But they have another feature, guys. Down the right-hand side here, you can actually look at all new games for each platform. Haha! So if we go to new Boosteroid games, for example, there they are, the very ones that we just spotted, you see. And we can do this for all of them. New GeForce games, Yum Yum Cookstar, Mass Effect 3, 2, Railgrade, and so on. So it's a great feature. Shadow's irrelevant, because whatever's available on any of your platforms, if you've got Steam, Shadow, you can play it. Air GPU is a Shadow, but for, I believe, largely more popular in the Asia. Xbox Cloud games, there we go. Mass Effect 3, 2, Hitman 3, 2, and Hitman. Oh, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I played this in the cloud over the weekend on xCloud. Blew my socks away. I'd already played it before, but when they first came out with the new one, it was only an install as a console, because it's largely such a complicated game. You're better to use keyboard. They've now moved it to the cloud. I played in a helicopter flying over New York. Graphically, ping, it was perfect. They've really, really got their act together recently. The quality of their stuff is amazing. And there is Stu. How are you, buddy? We're just talking about you, Stu. We were talking about Marvel Snap, and I was saying how you and I had a conversation about the confusion of calling it Snap if you live in the UK. Because it ain't Snap, is it? It actually comes, I can't see, he was telling us, it comes from a backgammon phrase or something. Absolutely nothing to do with the game of Snap. Dinner is on and Rokk is on the telly. Oh, hi, Benj! Stu's got a lovely little fella called Benj. Talking of which, I tweeted this yesterday. I've been playing a game called Alba, which if we go back to here, I'll show you it. This is currently free on, here it is. This is currently free on Epic Games, and it's absolutely fantastic. Look at that, it's 10 out of 10. All right, it's a free game, you can go and pick it up. And it's a kid's game, but it's adorable. I've actually genuinely been playing this more than anything. I love it. It's not a big game. I reckon I'm probably a half an hour to an hour through, almost from finishing it. But if you think about how laid back, for example, Lake was. Remember that game we had to drop post off? It's very laid back. It's like a little girl. I think of Dora the Explorer, and it's that kind of age group as well, you know. Sniper, no sniping. Little girl, and she's given a camera phone by her grandparents. It's set in a Spanish island, so it's gorgeous. It's so sunny, and the birds are twittering, and you just feel, it's absolutely lovely. She's given a little phone, and she has to go around and take photos of all the animals. And she has to build up her collection of photos, so she gets, it's brilliant. She gets a little reward every time, and then she has to go and help free the animals that got stuck in rubbish, or oil spillages and things. And there's a story that's going on as well that I love it. And if you've got little ones, pretty much any young age, I'd say they would love it as well. So go and treat them. It's free. You can either download it and play it on your PCs, or you can play it on GeForce Now. So even if you have a free account, you could play it there, and of course Shadow. But yeah, big massive recommendation. There are not that many times, to be honest, when I pick up the free game that it is of interest to me. But this was definitely one, and Primo agrees. Primo said it's cute. Yeah, it is. It's lovely. It's the kind of game I would 100% have expected to see on Stadia, quite honestly. And Renaissance Man says, love that game, but yeah, it's confusing. Are we talking Microsoft Flight Sim? You've really got to invest time in it. My brother is a fully trained helicopter pilot. He used to train other pilots. And I meant to say to him, because he would love that. He would love it. But he's always said to me, it's incredibly accurate. So yeah, it's bound to be complicated, isn't it? I Can't See tries to claim all the games. Yeah, absolutely. I do as well. I don't always download them or play them, but I like to collect them, because you never know. And sometimes you just get really into a genre, don't you? And then you go and give it a go. On The Verge today, we have The Witcher 3's next gen patch is going to be arriving on December 14th, guys, which is excellent. It's a free next-gen update for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X. So if you've got The Witcher 3 on any of those platforms, and probably on GeForce Now, let's go back and see if it's on. This is why I love this website. I've told the guys before, they're flipping brilliant. So it's on GeForce Now as well. So there you go. So if you've got The Witcher... it's Witcher Wild Hunt. Is that the same one? Witcher 3 of them. If I put Witcher in... I'm sure it is. Yeah, there we go. Wild Hunt. Yeah. So you can play it on GeForce Now. And, oh, look, it's Vet's Christmas photo. Oh, now we're in Dartmoor. How fun. Oh, now we've got the Boosteroid going on. Oh, now we're back here. There's a free... hang on, in a month's time, a free next-gen update. That's the time I'm going to actually play it, because I've picked this game up and I've started to play it so many times. I don't know what it is with me and Project Red. I'm the same with Cyberduck. I just can't get the darn thing finished. But I will, if it's next-gen-y with next-gen-y. I wonder if there's someone in the world called Jenny Next. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Jenny Next Jenny. Kadakes, how are you? Thank you for popping in. How do I pronounce it? Karikes. Kariks? I'm not being rude. I'm really pleased not being rude. I'm fascinated by people's names, and I love to make sure that I pronounce them correctly. But half the time, you kind of need to see it phonetically spelled out, don't you? So, Young David says, yes, Witcher 3 is on GFN, but the Game of the Year edition isn't compatible if you buy it on Steam. Oh no, I made that mistake and I wasted a tenner. That happened to Lee CGD. I'm thinking what the game was he bought. I can't remember. I know he bought a game and it turned out to be another edition and it didn't work. Oh, mate, that's such a pain, isn't it? That happened to me on a game as well. I forget what it was now. So just do your research first. Lost Ark is getting Witcher content earlier next year. Ooh, says I Can't See. That's interesting. Yeah, Lost Ark have started doing a lot of that, haven't they? Doing that kind of cross-promotional thing. MS Flight Sim is amazing. Hey, Demi Goddess, how are you? Great to see you. Yes, it really genuinely is amazing. I agree. I like to stick to the simple stuff. I did have a very older version of it. I bought myself a proper Flight Sim joystick and I really got into it. But these days I have the patience of an aged goldfish, and it just ain't for me. But anyway, next gen patch coming up. Wednesday, December the 14th. Any version will do, it says. Not just the complete edition. There you go. So make sure you have the version that's on GeForce Now if you, like me, would rather play it in the cloud. You will get the patch, which includes upgraded visuals of all of the DLC packs, and further content drops. Flip me! So you get all the DLC as well as upgrades on the visuals and stuff, and further content drops inspired by the Netflix series. Well, that's a freaking deal. I don't mean to sound dumb, but does it teach you to actually fly? Yes, no, it genuinely does. I've flown. I've flown a Cessna, and a couple of times actually, and I love it. I absolutely adore it. But you do what you have with it, David, is that it goes through tons of tutorials. You can skip those and you can just try your luck, and zip about and crash, or you can go through all the tutorials. There was talk around 9/11 that some of the pilots had sort of taught themselves to fly using it, but that was bilge, as was most of the stories behind the 9/11 terrorists. But anyway, there you go. So that's a good bit of news. I thought you'd like that. I knew you'd like that, guys. That's it. That's all I've got for you, actually. We've newsed out. Oh, no, hang on, Rokk. What about the Twitter dot stuff? Yes, of course. The Twitter stuff. Why haven't I got me Twitter bookmarks here? Oh, I normally do. Let's go back to this, and we'll go to Twitter. Right, give me a second. We'll go to Twitter. And yep, there we go. We'll go to the bookmarks. Here's the bookmarks. We'll quickly have a look at these. We've got a couple of minutes before William starts doing his thing. So Toshiba have launched a television with a big old price discount, apparently, which includes Alexa and gaming apps. Black Friday price drop. Looks quite nice. It's 4K. It's got the old speakers, decent speakers built in. This is what it looks like when you break the LED panel, guys. Don't be doing that. And stuff. But anyway, they got it on a bit of a deal. There you go. You got all your games and gaming things. Anyway, it was in Twitter, so I thought I'd show it. What else we got? Amazon Luna. They have announced today four new games on Luna Plus. Windjammers, Smurfs Mission Villiers, Chicken Police, and Horizon Chase Turbo. These are actually old games as of November the 11th. Well, I think we've mentioned these last Tuesday, actually. Cloud Validation pointed this out. Looks like Apple TV is about to come as part of Xbox Game Pass, which is interesting. Now, they've kind of had perks for it in the past, but the suggestion is that it's going to be part of Game Pass Ultimate, which is actually really handy because I cancelled it last week. Well, they put the price up. Apple put the price up, and I had Apple One, and they put the price up. And I looked at it, and I thought, you know what? Okay, we've got a few more episodes of Mosquito Coast. We don't watch a lot on there. Don't listen to the music. Don't need their health app. We do use their 2 terabyte backup because it's a quid cheaper than Google. So that was it. I cancelled everything except for the 2 terabyte. But if it comes back as part of Game Pass Ultimate, happy days. Happy days. Dad Play Games got a lovely tweet out from the Enigma Dragon guys, publicising his interview, which if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it yet, says Enigma Dragons, our developers did a fantastic interview with Bjorn Friström, which aired last week. What's the hardest part of making a game? How much work does it take to design a card? Click here and find out. So there you go, check that out. Now, Bjorn is going to be doing a ton more interviews soon, and they're going to come out on my channel as part of our kind of Rokk Players pack. So look out for those. They're going to be premiering at a good time for our American buddies. So we'll be trying to do one of those a month or more. And then John popped in to say, look, just in time for Christmas, Xbox Series S Gilded Hunter bundle coming out November the 29th. So that's Fortnite, Rocket League and Fall Guys, all branded up and ready to play on Xbox Series S, which is a bit weird because they're all free. But don't worry, it comes with credits and things. It's worth it, honest. And that's it. Look at that, bang on time as well. Fantastic. Let me just show you my beautiful new stinger and we'll go back to the welcome screen. So there you go, guys. What a fantastic show. So a few of you have said, what's this news you've got, Rokk? Yeah, we've got big news, and I mean big news. I mean, we said back in September we were going to be doing something, and then Stadia fell off the cliff and we had to kind of postpone it, but we've got it back, and John and I are going to be streaming in 3.5 hours. We're going to do a special half-hour show, a live special, where you can find out all about this amazing news that we have. And it is amazing. It should make for a very happy Christmas, let's put it that way. I'm just quickly looking down the chat, make sure that I haven't missed anybody popping in. Kerka says, what do you think about Hogwarts Legacy? Do you think it will be on GFN? I really hope it will. I'm a GeForce Now ambassador, but we don't get told what games are coming up until literally about 3 days before the general public. So I don't know, but it is coming out on PC, and I really, really hope it comes out on GeForce Now. That's personally, that would be an absolutely amazing thing. It's not coming out till Feb, as you know, and I am giving away a copy on any platform of your choice, as well as I think it's 60 days of either Game Pass Ultimate or GeForce 3080. So check out, I think it's a pinned tweet on my channel. If you haven't entered that yet, get in and enter it. Also got the Callisto Protocol one coming up December 2nd, so that's only a couple of weeks away. And as I've said, stay tuned, come back at 9:30. I think it's 1:30 Pacific and 4:30 Eastern. So yeah, it's going to be good. It is going to be good. I'm so excited. Been working on it for so long. Guys, I'm going to let you go, and we're going to go over and see what William's streaming. He's always got something amazing on the boil. Let me see if I go over to YouTube, see what my good friend Simply Pawned is streaming today. Or is he not streaming? I can't see him. He wasn't streaming on Friday either, was he? Unless he's changing his times. I suppose he might be. Let me see here. No, he is live. It's just for some reason it's not showing up in my thing. I don't know why that is.
Where we left off.
I am subscribed, and I also have the bell. Yeah, there it is down there. Look, the bell is clicked and I'm subscribed. But he's in there. He's doing Halo Infinite. So get yourselves over there. Enjoy a bit of that.
Is that why the stream was like 10 minutes and then reset?
And I will see you guys in exactly 3.5 hours.
It's still cold for me, bro.
With John.
All right, starting the game.
And you should be hyped.
It's colder than a witch's
You
boot
so
in a
should be
brass
hyped.
bra. Yes, it is.
That's
We're
weird.
Talking,
that's weird, Crow, isn't it?
Nipply.
I don't know
Here.
why. I have no idea why. But yeah.
We're
Later,
talking
you take care, my good friend.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, have a good one. I'm going to let you all go. And don't forget to check out Ant later as well. He'll be
Hopefully
doing
it
something
loads us up.
amazing.
It should.
I will see everybody.
I haven't really experienced any major issues since
If I can
getting
find the
off
right
that
link.
prologue.
Here we go. See you tomorrow. See you later.
Yeah. Aside from my internet cutting out the other day.
Yeah, if it does, we'll just load up immediately and then start from that save where the